up, y'all? It's Rad Randy back. Well, just thought I'd get on here and shoot a video. Got quite a bit of stuff done, but you know, I just had to get out here in the shop and get busy and, you know, get to working on some stuff. I think the last video I did was on this fender here, replacing that bottom part on the 55. And since that, I've replaced this eyebrow over the headlight, replaced it. I know I talked about that. It was in pretty bad shape, had some rust in it. You know, they get dirt packed up in there and stays moist and they'll rust out. That's a common thing on a Tri-5. And put this piece in. I didn't use the whole thing. I butt welded it, cut this piece off. Didn't use this piece here. I didn't need it, so I cut it off. It wasn't too bad putting that in, but it's, you know, you just got to take your time and ease up on it and make sure you get it in the right place. But it turned out pretty good. I'm pleased with that. And then on the other side over here, yeah, this fender had some damage on the bottom, and I went ahead and replaced it. I think I welded it right along here somewhere. Put the new bottom piece on that, and I had to I cut this down here and redid it. It was in a little too far. So I cut it, pulled it out, this top edge, so it would look better. Yeah, so that's about all I've done on the 55. And now on the 39, this fender here was kind of beat up a little bit, had some splits in it. I welded those up, welded these up around the headlight here and straighten that fender out pretty good. It's still got a little bit of damage on it that I got to fix right along here, but for the most part that fender's in pretty good shape. And I think I mentioned on the last video that I was supposed to get some running boards. I got some and put them on here, and trying to, you know, put everything together, front fenders, running boards. I stuck the back fenders on here, and I told y'all that I was going to get a set of fenders, and I did. They were 40 Ford fenders, pretty good fenders, but you know, 40 and 39, they have a different tail light, and I was going to have to cut this out and put in the other fenders. And I got to thinking about it, and I said, man, that's going to be a pretty good job getting them located in the right place and everything. So I started messing with these fenders, and I went ahead and patched the ones I had up that come on the car. This is what I cut out of this one on this side. Had some rust in it, and went ahead and cut that out and replaced it. And then I made this back piece and replaced it, and I'll show y'all in a little while. I was able to pick up a plenishing hammer, and still got a little work to do on this, but that plenishing hammer makes that easy work, straightening all that wrinkle stuff back out. And then on this side, I did pretty much the same thing. This is what I cut off the back. You can see the fender was pretty crumpled up on the back here and rusty. And then on the side, this is all that was on there. Somebody had already cut the bottom portion of it off whenever I got the car. And this fender here was really in rough shape. It was the metal was really stretched in here, so I made some relief cuts in it and welded it back together to, you know, kind of draw it back in. I still got to planish that out a little bit. And then you got the other running board on here. Still got to clean them up, but they're in pretty good shape. Got a little dent right here on this one, but I clean them up. I got new covers to go on them, and they'll look pretty good. And then this fender here, it was really rough. I made 2 patches to go on this one. This is one of the patches I made, and then this one down here. This is what I cut out. You know, back in the day, they would braze everything together. And it was in pretty rough shape. The fenders normally are. They're the part that takes the beating on these cars. So I cut this out and made 2 patches. And the way I made my patches is I took the other fender that I had straightened out pretty good and put the tape down here and made me a pattern, and then just reversed it for that side. So I had a pattern for that. And I did the same thing. Made dirty, but did the same thing with this patch. Taped it on the other fender. Gave me the right contour and a good pattern to follow to make this side. But it turned out pretty good. Still got a little grinding to do, a little finish work. But I think what I'm gonna do with this car, let me show you here, is this thing was painted with a doggone paintbrush, I guess, back in the day. But this is actually the original paint to the car. I guess they used lacquer back then. This is the original lacquer paint to this car. I was able to sand this brush black or whatever they put on here. I was able to sand it off, and that's the original paint. Got the original paint back here. And I think what I'll do with this thing is try to do the whole car, get that black brush paint off of it, and just leave the patina on it. I think it'll be pretty cool just to leave it like that. And then, you know, give me some paint matched to this so that I can, you know, spray this down here and any other spots that I need to spray, but just kind of leave it in the patina that's on it. I think it'll look pretty good. Everybody seems to like that. And probably pretty rare to find an old car that's still got the old paint up under there that you can, you know, work with. So that's probably what I'll do. And this grill is what I'm working on now. It was in pretty bad shape, and I had the front end, y'all might remember if you watched my other videos, I had the front end sitting off in one piece. I had the grill was attached to the fenders, and that's just the way I took it off, and that's the way it was whenever I moved from my other shop up here to the new shop. Hauling this thing, I was by myself. I hauled everything, you know, up here, so I had to take this thing apart. So I wound up cutting it here and here, and this grill was in like 3 pieces. This piece, the center piece, and then this other side over here. And I got out here the other day and just started hammering on it, straightening everything out. This chin right here, it was all bent up and beat up. I had to put one patch in it, but I was able to get it pretty straight. And this centerpiece, they just welded it in there crooked. Just welded solid up here. But I'm gonna cut this out and cut this little piece down here, straighten all this back out. I've got a new centerpiece. The one that was on it was pretty well messed up, broke, piece missing, but I've got another piece. And leaving the patina on it, anything that I put on here don't have to be perfect. The piece that I've got to replace and put over this, it's not perfect, but it'll match the patina of the car. So I got to cut this out, but I wanted to wait. The latch on the hood over here, I got it all freed up, the latch and everything, but this part is broke, which I think that's probably pretty common for these things to break right here. It's a weak point, but need to find a new latch, or a old latch with the matching patina, that I can put it back in here and get all that to working. But I wanted to get that latch piece and get it on the hood and make sure where I put this centerpiece back in that I've got it in the right place. You know, I know I got to straighten it up, but I want to have it in the right place so that everything works right. This center safety latch here, it works, it's still on there. But I was missing this piece right here, this one little rib. I was missing it, didn't even have it. So I came over here to this side, took some tape, taped this one up, and then trimmed around it, peeled it out, and put it on a piece of metal, traced it out, cut it out, and then bent it and shaped it like this piece for the other side. Just made a mirror opposite of it for the other side. And I'll get it. That's what I'm working on now, is to get this put in there and welded, tack welded in, and that'll finish that grill off. I got those pliers stuck in there just to move that rib over like it needs to be. I had it welded up here, but it was a little too close on that side, and the space in here was a little too wide. So I'll get that welded in and get this one tacked back in place, and that'll have the grill pretty much put together. I still got to put these rods here. I cut those off too. But I've got the pieces that goes on the ends of these pieces here. I've got them over there on the table. I'll weld all that back together. I've got the plates that go in here. They're over here on the table. These are the two rod ends, and you can see where they attached was right here. And these plates go on each side of the grill. Got both of them. Just got a matter of putting them back in place and getting those rods welded in. And as y'all can see right here, I was able to pick this up. Went to a old race car shop just to look around. They were selling everything in the shop, and I was able to buy a couple of things there, but I saw this hanging on the wall, and I asked the guy, well, what about the planishing hammer? Was it for sale? And he said, what? I said, a planishing hammer. So he didn't even know it was up there. He had inherited the shop from somebody else, an estate, so he was just selling everything, getting out of it. So anyway, I was able to, he just gave me this. He didn't know what it was. I knew what it was. Of course, it was froze up from hanging on the wall for so long. I had to bring it home and take this piston out and Scotch-Brite it, clean it up, clean the cylinder out, and put it all back together, lubed it and put it all back together, and man, it works like a charm. It's a vintage Chicago Pneumatics planishing hammer, and that was a good score right there to be able to pick that thing up. But those fenders, you know, I can work those fenders, all those wrinkles out with this thing, and it makes it a lot easier than just using a hammer and a dolly. Yeah. Another thing that I was able to pick up from him was this shear right here. I was going to buy it, for 20 bucks. Those things, they're pretty expensive. You know, this is an older one, but they're like, I don't know, anywhere from $300 to $400, I would say. And he said, well, let me make sure it works. So he plugged it in and it didn't work. So I brought it, he just gave me my money back and then gave me this and said, here, maybe you can make them work. So I brought them home, took the cover off, and somebody had taken the brushes out of it to put some new ones in it. Of course, they run into the same problem I did. You can't buy brushes for this older model anymore. They don't make them. But I was able to find a set that I can make work, put them in there, and this thing works like a charm. You can buy the blades and stuff for it. Yeah, you can still get that stuff. And I bought these Clecos, assortment of Clecos and Cleco pliers from them. 10 bucks. So I was able to get all this stuff here and all I spent was 10 bucks. I think I did pretty good. Y'all let me know what you think. This thing right here, everybody probably wants one of these, but they're pretty expensive. I probably couldn't have bought, well, I wouldn't have bought one. I went on eBay and looked, and there was one on there that a guy had restored, painted and everything, just like this. And it had the other hoop. There was another hoop that came with this thing, but he had the whole deal, and he was asking something like $2,700 for that thing. And that's pretty high, but you know, I guess they're worth it if you do a lot of that kind of work. But for me to get it free, that was a big plus. Yep. But anyway, just thought I'd come on here and show y'all what I've been up to. And I'm finally kind of halfway comfortable in the shop. I've had a lot of stuff that been taken care of, different things. I bought some property around me and just a lot of things going on. But I've been out here piddling, pecking away at it little by little. But I plan on getting out here and doing more and getting some videos started, posting some more videos. So, and I plan on working on both vehicles at the same time, just trying to get both of them done. And hopefully y'all will be around and watch some videos. I got me some music out here. I had this old stereo out here, but you know, in this metal building, it's hard to pick up anything, and it's getting cold now, and I knew that I would have the doors shut. So I bought me a Alexa, and streaming music off of it. When I had the big door open, I could pick up the Wi-Fi from the house.
Your device is offline. To connect, swipe down from the top of your screen, then go to Settings, Network.
Okay. Anyway, with the door shut, you know, there's no Wi-Fi in here. So I went and got that thing. It's an extender. I've got one of the antennas out here. I drilled a 1/2-inch hole and stuck one of the antennas through there. My Wi-Fi box, Verizon, is in the garage, so it's close enough that this extender will pick it up, and it gives me internet or Wi-Fi out here in the shop. I'm able to stream my music off of that Alexa, so that's pretty nice. But
according to airnow.gov, the air quality in zip code 31.
Other than that,
air quality index of 26.
I've got all my stuff in here now. Made a mess, you know, kind of got it, I don't know, comfortable where I can work in it. But anyway, y'all look for some more videos. I plan on putting some more up. So y'all, if you would, subscribe, leave me a like and a comment, and we'll see y'all later.